Welcome back to the Casual Observer. I'm your host, Daniel, NBA edition of the podcast. I hope you can hear me. We've got some new mics. Hopefully they're not too shit. Let us know if they are. Quick hitting episode today. Going to be some NBA news, some mock draft, and just some takeaways we've got as we head into the draft tomorrow. So we're going to start with the news that Dusty May, the Michigan coach that won it all at the March Madness, 3 potential lottery picks in this year's draft from Michigan. Dusty May is the new head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. So Ujiri makes a pretty big splash hire there. I'm not really sure. Obviously, what he saw, we'll soon find out. I mean, look, always a good shout to go from the college game, especially when you've just won the thing. So good shout there. And I think, look, it's good to get some new blood in the NBA. No, not a young fella, but hey, he's definitely got experience. And if you're, got a few young players with Cooper Flagg and whoever they pick at number 9, if they stay at number 9, they're not too far removed from college as well. So, good hire. I think it's a really fun hire. I think if you're starting to look at coaches such as Tiago Splitter or, he'd be fine. But, your Doc Rivers of the world, probably not. So this is a great hire in my mind. The Wizards have done some stupid shit. They've extended Trae Young 4 years, $212 million to stay with the Wizards. He declined his $49 million player option for the long-term commitment. Don't love it. You got gifted him, and now you're extending him for that much money. I think pretty crazy. But hey, look, that's the Wizards for you. Every contract can be traded at the end of the day, but not my cup of tea, that. But hey, let's hope he turns it around. Let's hope AnthonyDavis doesn't demand out, and whoever they select at number 1, whether it's AJ, Cam, or Darren, they get the job done. And look, you can't get a much better offensive point guard at least, but holy shit, Alex Sarr and Anthony Davis are going to be cleaning up his mess behind him. So good deal for Trae. Not the greatest for the Wizards in this cap era. Huge news is the Brooklyn Nets have acquired Julius Randle and the 28th pick in this year's draft. They've moved Nick Claxton to the Bulls, and the Bulls, the Minnesota Timberwolves got the 33rd overall pick, but also $33 million in cap clearance plus the future years. So huge there for the Bulls. They're actually doing some smart shit. The next point is Tiago Splitter was hired by the Bulls. So 2 really smart moves so far. This new regime at the Chicago Bulls actually doing stuff and smart stuff. Incredible. To facilitate that trade, they gave up nothing, and that's amazing. So they gave away Vooch last year. Fair enough, he had nothing left. And Jalen Smith, probably a good 18-minute a game guy. So Nick Claxton needs a change of pace from Brooklyn, considering his first few years was trash, then Kyrie and KD, and then trash again. I think he's quite a good player, quite a niche player around the rim and defense. And as we all know on 2K, pretty hard to keep that morale happy with him. But I reckon the Bulls, when they've got the ball humming, he's still fairly young. Josh Giddey's, loves passing, loves lobbing. Trey Jones, Noah Sengay, Matas Buzelis, and whoever they pick at 4. The Bulls look like they've got a direction. Who knows what this means for Timberwolves? Obviously, second-round picks don't really go against the cap, so that's not a bad move there. And with that extra space, is it re-signing Dosunmu? Is it going hunting for like a Kyrie Irving, Ja Moran? Fair enough. Either you've got that flexibility now when you didn't really think you had that. So they already traded from the 21st to the 28th early with the Mike Conley dump, and now moving back again. So little moves, but Tim Conley definitely knows what he's doing. And Brooklyn, I mean, why wouldn't you? You got to spend that cap space somehow. You got 5 rookies or second-year players now, sophomores. MPJ, Julius Randle, the old Brooklyn Nets. Before KD and Kyrie, they getting these contracts together, getting a few extra picks, and having another shot in this draft is great. So 5 spots higher, and Julius Randle. You got to be competitive. You don't have your own pick next year, so I think there's not many trades where it's a win-win-win, but that seemed like a win-win-win trade. So huge there, I think. And lastly, OKC trade Aaron Wiggins to the Hawks for 2 second-round picks, and that second one in 2032 is the lesser of. So that's going to be a trash pick. It's basically a salary dump. It saves them about $60 million in tax because Wiggins was making about $9 million this year. So, Oklahoma dumped him. They've got plenty of players to replace him with, more minutes to go around. He was a bit of a fringe player in the playoffs. But huge for the Hawks. They gave up nothing. They had the exception from the trades last year. So he fits right in their exception. And I think that's insurance for Kuminga. So if Kuminga walks, I think it's much of a muchness, and I would actually rather have Aaron Wiggins on a team that's trying to do something. So, there's been lots of trades mentioned, and it's good to see a couple happening. In terms of the draft, there's been chat of, let's just start with the Mavs. They've got pick 9. It's been chat of they will move down with Oklahoma City to number 12 and 17, have 2 bites at the apple in this draft. I don't mind it. If you love Braden Burries and he's in and around that 9 spot, I'd probably keep the pick, but if he's gone, you really have to love someone else to go stay at 9 if you're getting offered 12 and 17. So, because there's a lot of good players in this draft, and you don't have your own pick either as Dallas moving forward. So, got to surround Cooper with as much talent as you can while you can. So, that's a smart trade if they make it. There's also the Charlotte Hornets at 14 and 18. They probably have to throw something else in if they want to get that done. Atlanta at 8, heard trades of potentially, again, Oklahoma, Charlotte, and a few other teams. And with these moves that they're making, Atlanta's clearly looking to be competitive now. And that's awesome. Atlanta, looking to be competitive. So whether that means they're gearing up for a Jaylen Brown trade, Giannis trade, or just, picking off players on the periphery and letting their core develop. They just re-signed McCollum 1 year, $21 million. The only player that gave the Knicks any hassle. They've been aggressive. Everyone's been aggressive. These new draft rules, awesome. Love them. The fact that they've flattened the odds and the 3 worst teams are not even rewarded, I love it. Everyone's getting competitive now. There's got to be some downsides. I don't really see too much at the moment because there's so many ways to build a team these days. If we're in the 80s, I can understand why players don't want to go to, say, sorry to shit on Memphis, but Memphis and Seattle and Portland. But technology, travel, it's all come so far that I think it's, free agency's not dead. And if you draft well, it doesn't matter what spot you're going to be in. So, I think there's a few of those trades going on. The Clippers are one to watch. The Kings are one to watch. 5 and 7. Is there a swap there? There's mention of the Bulls moving down, but they're doing really smart things. So I'd say they stay at 4. Utah moving up to number 1 to get DeBanter. There's a lot of talk out there that the Wizards are taking Peterson. I think that's, a bit of a false thing they're putting out to the media to try and get Utah to pay up. So smart from everyone involved. Grizzlies, don't trade down, please. If you were to trade down, you'd still need something in the top 10 and multiple firsts in the future. But I would just say, just take whoever's available at 3. So, a lot of trades that we can go into, but and who doesn't love trades? But let's go into our mock draft. The consensus lottery top 14 is DeBanter, Peterson, Boozer, Wilson, Keaton Wagler, Darius Acuff, Kingston Flemings, Braden Burries, Mikael Brown Jr., Nate Ament, Axel Landenberg, Kareem Lopez, LeBaron Philon, Hannes Steinbach. But there's been other drafts, mock drafts, of course, with Cam Carr. Who did I have? Marez Johnson, Ademara. There's a bit of a consensus, but there's also, there's really a top 20, I think, in this draft. So can't go wrong. I've done my own, the Casual Observer mock draft. I've got DeBanter going to the Wizards, Peterson going to the Jazz. More for the fact that it's a ceiling thing. We'll talk about ceiling versus IQ because I think there's a lot of noise that they'll take Boozer as well there. And if I mean, I don't think you can go wrong. I think Peterson's got the higher ceiling, but Boozer's got the higher IQ, and we just saw in the playoffs that the IQ with Jalen Brunson, OG, Mikal Bridges, Mike Brown, like the IQ really helped them. After those playoffs, I think there's a lot more thought going into, instead of the higher ceiling, who's a winning player, and Cam Boozer's won at every level. So the Jazz can't go wrong there. But yeah, in mine, we've got Debance, Peterson, Boozer, Wilson, top 4. Then I got Mikal Brown to the Clippers at 5. Love his size, length. Yeah, he's a bit more of a probably feast or famine guy, but I think he can develop, especially in that Clippers system. If they stay at 5, he can pair up with Darius Garland, play the point when Garland's on the bench, but also just be a knockdown shooter to start his career, and then he can expand from there. Darius Acuff at 6 to the Nets gives the Nets something for fans to get excited about. No offense to Joman and Traore, but this is a bit more of a fun pick here. And hopefully all those guards can play together. But now you got MPJ and Julius Randle. It's not a big 3 if you have Acuff, but at least it's something to watch if you're in Brooklyn, instead of watching just the Knicks dominate you. Wagler to the Kings at 7. I actually really like this guy. Smooth jumper, good size, and good defense. Decision making, look, pretty like all these players. They're still developing it. But yeah, it's a good pick at 7. Mara to the Hawks at 8. Bit of a smoky there, but he's a title winning or NCAA winning player. 7'3". Doesn't he's basically Donovan Clingan, and Clingan's really starting to expand his game in Portland. And I think in a redraft of that 2024, he'd probably go 3rd. So I think that size you can't really undervalue. They've only got Okongwu really, and I would say that Mara is definitely one where you've got a bit more rim protection, you've got lineup versatility, and if he develops a 3-point shot, then amazing pick up there. The Mavs, Braden Burries, love that for him. Kyrie Irving, Burries, great backcourt. Cooper Flagg, of course. If Lively's ever healthy, did do a mock trade where it was Lively and Irving basically for Chet Holmgren and I think a bit of filler. Don't mind that either. But I'm not sure Oklahoma City Thunder are doing that. 10, I've got Kingston Flemings going to the Bucks. I know they love their size with Nate Ament, but I personally just can't get around that guy. I've watched a bit of film. Not an expert. Got a lot of NBA to watch, but in the quick little study we've done, he's not my kind of player. Neither is Kareem Lopez. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I wouldn't take a shot at him personally. So Kingston Flemings, love that upside. Get him to the Bucks at 10. Axel Landenberg to the Warriors at 11. He's older. Again, was playing on the Michigan team. Exactly what the Warriors would need. A bit of a floor spacer and just a big body. Hunter Steinbach to the Oklahoma City Thunder at 12. It's just an Oklahoma pick, honestly. He can shoot. He's not like an amazingly well-rounded player, but he can shoot. He's smart and he's got good size. And that's everything that OKC look for is, can you defend, can you shoot, and can you play as a team? Like, yeah, he can. So if the OKC get him there, watch out. And that also replaces a bit of those Wigan minutes and whatever else they do if they get rid of Lou Dort and Casey Wallace moves on, those kind of things. So Miami currently at 13. Who knows if the Bucks ever say yes to a trade. But if Miami are there, LeBaron Philon, I think Yakachunas and Philon can play together. What does that mean for Mitchell? He's still young. He can still play. So it's a 3-guard rotation I would trust, and it's quite fun. Love what he did. I believe it was Auburn last year, but yeah, he was a fun player to watch, and I personally, would pick him there just because of, he's a polarizing player, just like Acuff is. So when those two went head-to-head earlier in the college season, that was one of the best games I've seen of college. So that was awesome. And Charlotte Hornets at 14, rounding us out, Nate Ament. Again, they just need a little bit more in that front court. And hey, it gives Ament a little less pressure than going at 10, and he can figure out his game as he develops, because look, currently it's a lot of Grant Williams and Miles Bridges at that 4 position. So, this is a bit of a shot for them if they keep that pick. The next best available, Cam Carr, Christian Anderson, Merez Johnson, Kareem Lopez, Isaiah Evans. Couple of smokies in there, but, I mean, go watch some tape on these guys. Christian Anderson, look, I think I had to play too much point guard. I believe it was Texas Tech. I love his game. Would love to take him from Miami. But good size, can shoot, can get in the paint. I think just that was asked to do too much for his current skill set. So, I think if he plays 2 guard, 18 minutes a game as a rookie, perfect. Cam Carr, great player. I can see why he's mocked as high as 9. Rez Johnson, size, winning player from Michigan, and a shooter. Lopez played New Zealand for the Breakers. Didn't see too much of him, but he is more that kind of prototypical number 4. Shoot, defend, and can move around pretty with good agility. So probably can't go wrong there. And Isaiah Evans from Duke, loved him. I didn't think he had a big enough role next to Cam Boozer, but I mean, how can you? That guy's going to go anywhere from 1 to 4 in the draft. But I think Isaiah with the 3 and D, if he went about 18, 19, I think you'd be getting a real steal there. So, again, those kind of players I think he's 6'7", 6'8", you can't go wrong with those players. So, instead of taking a chance on someone, I think, hey, go there, go to Isaiah Evans. But that's my mock order. We'll see what trades happen. There's always going to be something. Tomorrow morning, I think it is for us, and tonight for if you're in the US. So there's always going to be something happens, and someone's going to fall. And in my mock, I've got Fleming's falling, and Ament falling, and McCall going up. If we go on potential, I'd say potential-wise, it's actually, if you're just drafting purely for the higher ceiling, I think you'd be going Peterson, DeBanza, Wilson, probably Boozer, but I'd probably go Acuff, then Boozer. Brown, Burries, Flemings. You could keep going down. Ament's up there. Lopez is up there. I just think those kind of guys have the highest ceiling, but they're very raw right now, as we got a little bit lower down that list. And if we're going for winning players, I mean, Cam Boozer's number 1. The IQ, the winning, Cam Boozer, then DeBanza, and then probably Acuff. Winner, but doesn't play a lot of defense, so yeah, it's hard to go past some of these Michigan guys like Lundeberg, Mara, because they've done it. They've won. So Burries, again, good IQ. Steinbach, yeah. So you could go a number of ways depending on the team. If your philosophy is shoot for the stars, or get someone solid in that we can bank on. So team philosophy is going to play a big role here, and not that you should ever really draft for need, but the Clippers might draft for need, and Hawks, Warriors, Thunder, and maybe the Hornets all draft for need there. But everyone else, just take the best available. So let us know in the comments and on Instagram, TikTok, where we've got these lists put up. Let us know what you think, what changes you would make, because we won't know until tomorrow. So there's no wrong opinions, unless you're picking the 60th pick first. That might be wrong. So look, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with some Giannis news, Wemby, and fake trades. All right, jumping straight back in. Wemby. Look, then we had probably a week or so now to recover from an amazing finals. Unfortunately, he only got 5 games, but yeah, I still reckon much more entertaining than last year. It's honestly, the Thunder are not my cup of tea to watch. The Pacers were, but then Halliburton went down. Great 7-game series last year, but yeah, this 5-game series packed more of a punch for me personally. But Wemby copped a lot of flack, 22-year-old in the finals, a lot to learn, a lot of mistakes, but the fact he got there and he's caused so many headaches for the teams that they went through, the Wolves, who'd they play? Portland and the Thunder. I mean, that's carnage. That's great. He's learning. He's making mistakes. What he needs, I mean, right now you just think, if you really thought what he's good at offensively, it's putbacks, it's lobs, and the 3-point shot's pretty good. But there's so many other things he can add. There's the elbow jumper, there's if he's in the post, just literally just face up the defender. I've had a few people say that, and I couldn't agree more. You're 7'5". I don't think anyone's really going to block that shot. So yeah, I think instead of fading away, which apparently was a Wilt Chamberlain thing, fading away. I'm not even 30. There's no chance I saw any footage of Wilt Chamberlain. But yeah, if you're 7'5", there's no need to fade away. He just needs to get a little bit more confidence in just rising straight up, facing the basket. Getting a little bank shot, I reckon, would be handy. The elbow jumper. Because, I don't think he's going to move post players out of position unless he's got a mismatch. And his passing's not bad. It's just processing speed needs to speed up. So, I think for Wemby, it's very much defense is perfect. Your conditioning, sure, probably could get 6 extra minutes of conditioning in you. And that's where the ramping up at the end of the season really matters. But they got him through to the finals this year. I think it's amazing. And the human body, but especially the male body, doesn't stop growing until you're 25. So 22, made it through the finals. I think the whole minutes thing is, look, the Spurs did all they could to get him, keep him healthy and keep him going. And that paid dividends. So you can't really talk any shit about that. But yeah, the 3 things I'd add to his game is that face up in the post, the elbow jumper, and then just instead of fading away, just that processing speed of, all right, I don't need to fade away. I can make that pass a little quicker. And so, yeah, basically that processing speed as a whole just needs to just get a little bit sharper. De'Aaron Fox, first finals, second playoffs ever. We've all been super hard on him because he's the vet of the team, but he's still pretty inexperienced, to be fair, as well in the playoffs and leading a team and coming back from the high sprain ankle. He was shithouse and made some terrible decisions, but and couldn't shoot for anything, and I think shot 23% or something on threes since his ankle injury. Like, he wasn't the same, obviously, but hey, he was out there and made a huge difference to the fact that the turnovers went down for the Spurs. So I think if he got off his back a little bit, he's still not a negative asset now that we've had a bit of time to process. Look, he hasn't been healthy for either of his playoff runs, but that's a separate question for him. But yeah, I think in hindsight, look, he still contributed, still was a positive. His defense is pretty good. He just wasn't healthy enough, and just made a few mistakes, which are a bit rookie-ish. But again, it's his second time through the playoffs. Like, first round against Golden State, and now this. So I can't fault the guy he's still pretty inexperienced in this form as well. So he'll learn from it. And look, again, from a Miami perspective, if we miss out on Giannis, which I don't think would be the worst thing in the world because we'll have no other assets to build a team, it'll basically be Mitchell, Powell, Wiggins, Giannis, Bam, and no one. If we miss out on Giannis and Fox is available, go get that man. You'll be on the cheaper side of things. You still have assets to build a team, but we know that Bam and Fox played together at, I think it was Kentucky. So yeah, you know it's going to work, that matchup at least. So or that combination. I'd take him in a heartbeat, especially now he's had this experience. If he's a negative asset around the league, snap him up. But yeah, I just wanted to give those two a bit of a shout out because I was pretty hard in them last podcast, but now we had time and a bit of time to think. You're like, it's not so bad. Giannis, this shit is still going 700 days later, whatever it is. It's, oh my God, will the Bucks make a decision? Keep him or send him? Like, I think I'm more mad because the draft's tomorrow. Not sure if we're really zoning in for the draft tomorrow as a Miami fan. If we don't have a pick. So apparently it's really between Miami and the Celtics. Miami offers the same offer as it's always been. Basically, Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, and either Yakachunas or missing someone. I'm definitely missing someone. Or Jovic. And a couple of every pick we have, basically. But the Celtics should easily go over the top. Brown and picks probably gets the job done. So yeah, I understand them holding out for as long as they can, trying to get as many assets as they can. But if teams know you have a deadline, which is the draft, because basically if you don't take the offer now, Miami's going to make its own pick at 13. If you don't like that pick, too bad. So it's you're running out of time. Hello, switch on. But it's either make the trade or don't. But this can't linger. Surely, let that man free if he wants to go. But Giannis isn't faultless here. He needs to say if he wants to go. But hey, there's a mock trade, which I think is a huge win for everyone. It's a 4-teamer, and I kind of love it. So the Bucks would get Jaime Jaquez, Ron Holland, Karis LeVert, Dalton Connect, number 13, 21, 25 in this year's draft, a future 30 and 32 from Miami, and a bunch of seconds with a couple of swaps in there. The Heat would get Giannis and Jared Vanderbilt. The Pistons would get Hero and LaRavia, and the Lakers would get Stewart, Jovic, Khalil Ware, and a future second. Honestly, I think the Lakers make out like that, like bandits. I mean, you're giving up Vanderbilt, a first, and Dalton Connect and LaRavia, for Stewart, Jovic, Ware. That kind of suits everything that Luka wants to play with, is spacing bigs and rim runners. So that covers that. So that's a huge win for the Lakers. Maybe it's a Lakers fan that made this up. I mean, getting Vanderbilt and Giannis at least gives something. But again, you're getting rid of Ware, Jovic, Jaquez, and Hero. So you're left with Yakachunas, Pele Larson. So yeah, you're not left with a shit ton as a Miami person, but at least you get the big fish. And look, for the Detroit, you get a end of the game scorer with Hero. Some people love him, some people hate him. I'm super on the fence. There's some days I love watching him, other days I'm like, fuck me, get rid of the ball, dude. Share it a little bit. Have some self-awareness. But Detroit needs shooting. And we've seen with Duncan Robinson, they can have that shooting while also hiding him on defense. So yeah, I think it's not a bad shout for them to take him, but they are giving up a boatload as well with Ron Holland, Karis LeVert, and Stewart. So whether you call that a boatload in your opinion, maybe not, but I think it's a large chunk of their core suddenly gone. So Hero would want to work out for them, but that's a cool trade. I'm not sure we'll see that actually eventuate, but if that's why this trade is on hold, that would make sense because you need 4 teams to agree. So look, the other holdup might be the fact that they're trying to get the Bucks are trying to get Kyle Kuzma or Bobby Portis moved off in this deal, get rid of their money off the books. Maybe they're trying to get rid of Miles Turner. And I can imagine if you're, Miami, you're like, well, that means giving up Wiggins or Powell. Then we really, really have nothing. So from that perspective, yeah. And if you're the Celtics, that means probably giving up Derek White. And why the hell would you do that? So there's a lot there. But hopefully we see something when I wake up tomorrow morning that this has gone down. Honestly, I don't care if it goes to the Celtics or the Heat because I think it's a 2 or 3 year window and then he's cooked. So short-term win, long-term pain. But at least the Celtics would have Tatum, who's young enough, who can still have them with a second window in the future if they play their cards right. But that involves Jaylen Brown, and that would be interesting because do the Bucks keep Jaylen Brown, especially with the new lottery odds? Finishing in the middle is not the worst thing. He gets his own team. Or do they flip him for more assets, which would be Portland, Atlanta, even the Clippers maybe. They've got the 5th pick and contracts they can move. Honestly, if we ended up being the 3rd team, Miami, I'd take Jaylen Brown. So it's really, I think 4 teams you could end up on quite comfortably. Of course, the Brooklyn Nets could get involved, but what are you getting? I don't think you're getting the 6th pick overall. But yeah, I would say if your consolation prize and this is Jaylen Brown, you've done pretty fucking good. So yeah, he's one to keep an eye out for. Haven't really heard him on Twitch either, which is probably good. But yeah, let us know what Giannis trades you think are going to get over the line. What's your prediction? But yeah, it's if nothing happens, holy moly. We've heard a bit of news that AnthonyDavis wants a massive contract extension or he's out. So look, they just extended Trae Young. Might as well go all in. I wouldn't extend him. He's getting old and injury prone. His eyes are messed up. His fingernails are messed up. He's not someone I would want to extend. But hey, I'm not the one paying the big bucks. So got some mock trades. He's mostly been mocked to like Atlanta, Portland. Again, teams with a bit of flexibility and want to win. I've got some other ones that I thought might be a bit more fair. I mean, he got traded for a couple of shit firsts and Chris Middleton, who's basically retired. So the Wizards didn't have to give up much. So a mock trade number one would be Anthony Davis to the Suns for Jalen Green, Grayson Allen, and a second round pick. And that's it. The Suns will pay anything, so that's a win for Anthony Davis. The Suns get a big, and he can play next to Mark Williams and Milwaukee. But he can also just play a standalone five, and that helps Booker. Especially you get Booker, Dylan Brooks, and Anthony Davis. That at least looks pretty strong on paper instead of having three guards with Jalen Green and Brooks and Booker. But there's not much reason the Wizards would do this because, look, they get some shooting with Allen. They get a second round pick, but Green's the big one. Do you really want to take on a shooting guard when you've got Trey Johnson to develop and whoever you pick first this year? So that might have to be rerouted. Therefore, we've come up with another one. So it's a 3-team trade. Anthony Davis to the Suns. The Wizards get MPJ and Grayson Allen. And the Nets get Bub Carrington, Cam Whitmore, Jalen Green. A second in this year's draft, which is basically number 60. And then a 2033 first, which is top 14 protected or lottery protected from Phoenix. So the reason this all unfolds is to try and move Jalen Green for something else. And if the Wizards are trying to win now, MPJ and Grayson Allen are at least in their prime. So you can add shooting. They're probably two of the more loose cannons might be the best way to describe them, but they would at least provide some serious shooting and size to a team and competitiveness, honestly. Grayson Allen's not one to take a backward step. And so the Wizards get a bit of gruff about them. They get some shooting. And you can see a lineup where it's, Trae Young. I'm sure I'm missing someone, but Trae Young, Grayson Allen, Trey Johnson, MPJ, say DeBancer and Alex Sarr. They've got a fair bit of talent that they could work around there with. And there'd be so much spacing on the floor that, you could have DeBancer attack the rim head on. You could have, Trey lobs to Sarr, that would work as well. The Nets would get to take a shot on whatever the hell Cam Whitmore could be. Jalen Green, say with Darius Acuff, Julius Randle, and I mean, this was done before the Julius Randle trade, so it may not be possible anymore. But Julius Randle, there's something there. It's, they get a few more assets again, and Bub Carrington's someone you can take a chance on. So look, it's not the biggest win for the Nets, but if you're in asset accumulation mode, is MPJ really a deal breaker for you? Probably not. So I think it's a win-win-win, but that's my opinion because I came up with it. So two more. Anthony Davis to the Raptors. That took me a second. Anthony Davis to the Raptors. The Wizards get Brandon Ingram, Jakob Poeltl, Grady Dick, the 19th pick in this year's draft, 3 future first-round swaps, and a second. So it looks like a lot, but you got to pay something to get rid of Jakob Poeltl, and that's probably where the 19th pick is. To get Brandon Ingram, look, he's a long contract and he was horrendous in the playoffs, and it's not the first time. So, look, again, helps the Wizards with some scoring punch, but yeah, it's really a dump for the Raptors, and that's where all the draft capital goes. Is Anthony Davis, Scotty Barnes, a hell of a front court to try and score on. And also you get off a shitload of money with, I think you save about $9 million by doing this trade as the Raptors. Yes, you lose Brandon Ingram, but yeah, you also manage to get off Poeltl. You don't have to extend Grady Dick. The 19th pick is really the only asset. Future swaps, I imagine both these teams will be good in those years of the swaps, so You might just be moving 5 draft picks down from 21 to 26. So it looks like a lot, but it's not a huge amount of value. And I'm sure if you're the Raptors, you're probably trying to eliminate 1 or 2 of those swaps anyway. But fair trade if Anthony Davis is actually healthy. Not such a fair trade if the Wizards have chewed up all their. It might be a lose-lose trade, honestly. So last one. If Giannis doesn't get traded, and fuck knows if he will, Anthony Davis goes to the Bucks, basically for Miles Turner, Kyle Kuzma, and a first-round pick in the future. No real reason why the Wizards would do this, because it's been a long-term money, and they're getting Kyle Kuzma back. But it gives you some optionality again. You get another asset in the future, and a Bucks pick in the future. That could be so valuable. But also, Kyle Kuzma, doesn't have much left, but I think he's only got 2 years left on his contract. Could provide some 20 minutes a game off the bench. Miles Turner, next to Sarr, could provide some rim protection, but also spacing. So you could play a very gigantic lineup as the Wizards, say Trae Young still. But then, you could go some sort of Keyshawn George, DeBanter, Sarr, and Turner. Apart from Trae Young, there's no real weaknesses in that defense, and they can all shoot. So, it's one you got to wrap your head around. But if Davis doesn't want to be there, you're fixing a few of the problems for the Bucks, and it's Davis and Giannis. But again, what else is on the Bucks? So it's still not a team that would scare me, even in my own conference. But the Wizards, assets and take a chance on whatever the hell those 2 players have left, which is basically the Trae Young, CJ McCollum swap. But other than that, just going to finish on Miami because that's my team. And if we don't get Giannis, and it's not looking likely, what the fuck are we doing? Oh, wait. No shit. I'm so sorry. What the fuck? Hello. Fuck yeah. Woohoo, we did it! I was about to bag him out. Oh, hey! Alright, sorry for screaming in your ears, but apparently it's happened. Breaking. The Milwaukee Bucks, this is according to Shams, are trading Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis to the Heat for Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Kasparas Yakatunas, 3 first-round picks, including number 13, a pick swap, and a second-rounder in the future. We did it! Holy fuck, Houston, we fucking did it. We landed a star. The first one since Jimmy Butler. Oh, boy. Please don't be fake news. I will literally cry. And it's on a podcast. I will literally cry. Wait, there's a second one that said the same thing. That's 2 websites. There's 3 websites. Fuck yeah. All right, there's a rejected package now that's come out. Sorry, this has thrown the whole rhythm of this off, but oh, boy. Giannis Antetokounmpo for Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks, rejected. If I was Milwaukee, I probably would have done that deal. And now for Boston, that puts you in a tight spot because Jaylen Brown now knows that you were trying to trade him. Our window is now in Miami. We got to do some shit the next 2 or 3 years because then after that, we got nothing. But holy shitballs. Getting Bobby Portis is huge as well. Like, no Kyle Kuzma, who's trash. Bobby Portis. Get a bit of mongrel, floor spacing. Oh, I hate Bobby Portis, but if he's on your team, fuck, I imagine he's like Dylan Brooks where you're excited to see him. That's huge. Holy fuck. What a good piece of timing. Alrighty. I don't know what to say. By Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware. Look, I liked him, but Spoelstra didn't. Jaime Jaquez. Didn't trust his shot at all. Yakatunas, I did love Yakatunas. That's a big one. But we still got Larson, Mitchell, Powell, Wiggins, Bam. Missing a few players, no doubt. But don't have to worry about the 13th pick. May not watch the draft now. No, I definitely will. But all right, we got something at least to put around him. That's huge, man. Oh, man. Woo! We did it. We actually did it. I say we like we had anything to do with this. Oh, we did it. All right. Well, I think for the Bucks, you still have Kuzma, you still have Miles Turner on the books. Now you have Tyler Hero on the books. So it's a very expensive team. You'll have to extend I'm pretty sure you have to extend Jaime Jaquez and Ware soon, but Yakachounis is only a second-year player. I quite like that for the Bucks. They get 2 picks. They get number 10 and 13 in this year's draft, and we'll see what else they do with these players if there's more teams involved. I mean, they it's profitable in the middle. Not that they have their picks, but yeah, they've got some players to at least see what they have, what juice they have. So it's Yakachounis, it's Ware. We'll see whatever Jaquez can develop into now that he probably gets a bit more on the ball reps. Tyler Hero. They've got Ryan Rollins, Kevin Porter Jr. That's about it. The trash. AJ Green. I would have liked AJ Green as well as a Miami fan, just to get some more spacing. But hey, that front court with Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam. Good luck scoring. However, Mitchell's pretty rugged defender. Bobby Portis is no mug. I could see him being 6th man of the year. It's going to be some heavy minutes put on these guys, but if they can stay healthy, that's huge, man. That's just changed the whole landscape. Now this gets the ball rolling for the rest of the offseason. That's amazing. We've just wasted everyone's time with this podcast. But holy shit. That gets the ball rolling now because he's off the table. What other moves then fall? Milwaukee's finally, that domino's fallen. Let's hope we don't get Thanasis because fuck that guy. Sorry, dude, but you were literally the worst NBA player I've seen in a long time. But holy shit, that kind of leaves a whole bunch of other moves now to unravel. So I think we'll see things happen pretty thick and fast over the next week or two, heading into Summer League. But yeah, holy moly. We'll be back to you with a draft reaction, but I'll also gather some thoughts on this Giannis trade that just happened as I'm talking. So thanks for being part of a live reaction, and apologies for screaming your ears off and swearing so much, but Houston, we landed it. We landed Giannis. We did it. Pat Riley can finally retire. If he didn't get this, it was a forced retirement, my man, but you did it. Let's hope there's no major injuries, and let's actually not just finish in the play-in this year. All right, so huge moves. Thanks for being part of this. We will see you after the draft.